Hey guys, what's up? We are back with another video today, and today we are doing the video that I've been waiting to do for a little while now. Notre Dame, Ohio State, Week 4 of college football, Week 5 for the Fighting Irish. And it's time, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the first big test for Notre Dame this season, first big test for Ohio State this season, as all these preparation games is what I would really call them with Notre Dame, the Navies and the NC States and the Tennessee States and the Central Michigans, and for Ohio State, it's the Indianas and the Western Michigans and the Youngstown States of the world. All those are preparations for this game. You can't look past them. You still have to beat those opponents, especially the Indianas and the North Carolina States, because those are some decent football teams. Not so much for Indiana, but point is made. You have all this, and it comes down to this. Notre Dame, Ohio State, Week 4 in South Bend. College game day is going to be there. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below. We're going to be doing a live stream for this game, so make sure that you check that out. The live stream link, go ahead and hit the notification bell as well. We'll let you know when that live stream is coming out. We'll try to do it about 10 minutes before me, and then American Football Network can hopefully join as well as maybe Sorgy Stories with Anthony as well. So make sure you go ahead and check out that. Like this video if you enjoy it, whether you're an Ohio State fan, Notre Dame fan, like it down below or dislike it. It helps the channel really either way. Then also make sure that you comment your thoughts and opinions down below. I'm sorry for the long intro, but there's plenty to talk about. So let's get started into today's video. So let's look at the Buckeyes in this first section of the video. The Buckeyes have looked a little bit shaky, let's be honest. They definitely looked the best that they've looked all season last week, or yesterday really, or Week 3 against Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky is not a terrible team, but they are definitely much more of an offensive team. But they definitely did look solid. They looked much better than they have in the past, so that is definitely an improvement. When looking at this game, you see the improved quarterback play from Kyle McCord, who has struggled in the first couple of weeks, and that's definitely been shown. McCord went 19 of 23, 318 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Devin Brown went 3 of 4, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So definitely an improved day. On the ground, Ohio State didn't have much going on, only 88 yards from their top running back in Trayvon Henderson, but overall you had 204 yards as a team. But when it comes down to it, and you're looking at this Ohio State team, you would definitely say that there have definitely been some struggles this season. Games against Youngstown State started off slow. Indiana was not a good game. It was 23-3 was the final, and the offense, especially Kyle McCord, looked weak. Youngstown State, you only put up 35 against them, which is extremely disappointing when you look at it. McCord only threw for 258 yards, and Devin Brown even played substantial parts of that game. So I don't think it's the end of the world, but definitely not what you're looking for as a Buckeyes fan. That your offense just kind of sputters. But at the end of the day, I'm going to kind of give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt that they'll be okay in some aspects offensively. Defensively, they've looked solid. They haven't given up that many points. The most points they've given up was 10 points to Western Kentucky. But Western Kentucky also, it was the biggest points offensively that the offense put up, so 10 points is not that bad of putting up that many points. So the other thing when it comes down to it, I think when you're looking at Ohio State, is that you definitely have a coach in Ryan Day that can come up with some great offensive game plans. But at the same time, he has also struggled sometimes when it comes to like beating a Michigan in the past 2 years. The offensive game plans have been kind of iffy. The defensive game plan last year was pretty bad. But when it comes down to it, and when you're looking at this team and this roster, it is a very solid roster when you're looking at it, and one that is going to compete in college football at a high-ranking level. So now let's look at Notre Dame, another team that is going to compete at a high-ranking college level. When you look at it, it just simply put Notre Dame has a lot of weapons that they can use. The weapons are young and a little bit inexperienced, but at the same time, Notre Dame has put up a lot of points on the board, averaging 46 points through 4 games. And it even got 45 points against NC State, a team that had not given up 30 points in like 16 or 17 straight games. So even though most of the games, it's like, okay, good, you put up 41 points against Central Michigan and 56 against Tennessee State. Who cares, really, honestly? But when you're looking at it, that can definitely be a big-time advantage. Notre Dame's defense has looked solid, not fantastic, not like just absolute Georgia-level dominance defensively the past 2 years. This year, we'll see with Georgia. But really, I think that they've looked good overall defensively. I think that you have some definitely positives. So we're going to go through 3 keys to the game for the Fighting Irish. Number one key to the game is get the ball in the hands of playmakers and be able to pass the ball around well. I need to see an innovative passing attack all throughout this game. As a Notre Dame fan, you need to be able to have a passing attack that has some innovation to it. Sometimes with this Notre Dame team, it lacks innovation, especially in the big games. So I think that an innovative passing attack is a must. Number 2. I want 150 rushing yards. I want 150 rushing yards because Notre Dame struggles mightily when it comes to these big games and being able to put points on the board. And one of the big reasons is that the rushing attack is just terrible. Number 3, this one is specifically to one individual player, Audric Estime. Do not fumble, do not have turnovers, don't have mistakes, period. But particularly to Audric tends to fumble the ball because he holds onto it so tight because just to put it bluntly, he is just so muscular and so strong that he holds onto it so tight that it pops out very easily, even after not even the hardest of hits. He has struggles with that, so you cannot see that in this game. You cannot be giving up turnovers, picks, fumbles. You can't be giving Ohio State free possessions to work with to be able to give them advantages. I think Notre Dame has the advantage at quarterback and has the advantage on the offensive end generally, but you can't be giving up points to them. So, as we come to the prediction portion of this show, when it comes down to it, coaching, it goes to Ryan Day. I think Ryan Day just simply is a more experienced head coach, but Ryan Day, just as much as he has shown a great coaching performance against Georgia last year, he has also shown poor coaching performances early on in this year. Also, in games like Michigan in the past couple of years, he's shown kind of some inconsistency in big games particularly. Then it comes down to, okay, who is the better offense? Who is the better QB particularly? Notre Dame by far and away has the better QB, and if you want to argue with me, you're more than welcome to, but you're just straight up wrong. Sam Hartman is the better QB, and it's not even close. And I think that Sam Hartman holds the advantage both that and experience-wise. Kyle McCord does not have an experience in big games. Sam Hartman does. It's something that you can't show on Ohio State. But when it comes down to it, when you're looking at both of these teams, I think the biggest point is going to be the trenches. The trenches. And when you're looking at both teams, when you're looking at Notre Dame's offensive line versus Ohio State's defensive line, when you're looking at Notre Dame's defensive line versus Ohio State's offensive line, I just simply think it comes down to a Notre Dame team that is more physical, better matched in the trenches, and is going to be able to do something that they did just last year against Clemson, which was physically dominate the Tigers all throughout the game and just run the ball down their throats because Clemson couldn't do anything about that. That was with a better defensive line than Ohio State has now, with guys like Brian Bresee and Miles Murphy and other guys that I'm trying to remember their names, Tyler Davis and stuff like that. There are a lot of really good guys on that defensive line. I just don't see it. Defensively, I think Notre Dame is going to need to find some creative ways to come up with pressure, but the thing is that Notre Dame's cornerbacks, I think the most interesting matchup in this game is, just put simply, Notre Dame's cornerbacks versus Ohio State's wide receivers. And who wins that matchup may determine the game, but I think there are so many other factors in this game that I think that those two are so even, and I get it. Ohio State has a fantastic wide receiver core, but just as much as they have a fantastic wide receiver core, Notre Dame has a fantastic secondary, plus the fact that Kyle McCord has to get the ball to the guys, and Sam Hartman has to get it to their guys, or to Notre Dame's guys. I just don't trust Kyle McCord to be able to put the ball in such a spot, and I don't think that these Ohio State wide receivers are going to be just wanting wide open with all sorts of room where Kyle McCord can just loft it up and the Ohio State guys can go and get it. I think you're going to have to work for it, especially against Benjamin Morrison. You're not going to be able to throw the ball against Benjamin Morrison. I'm telling you. You try to throw it against him, it's either going to be a pick, a PBU, or just straight up a just nasty hit. I think that this is a game in which Notre Dame has the advantage. I think Notre Dame comes out on top 31-17 Irish. I know that's a little bit of a bold prediction. 31-17. That's a 2-touchdown game. I think Notre Dame has the edge in this one. So that's going to wrap up today's video. Hit 2 videos down below and hit the subscribe button. I can't wait to see you guys all on Saturday. Make sure that you put your score predictions down below. And as always, have a great day. Bye, guys.